It's Monday again, friends. Welcome to another Mastermind PH session. Please stay with us until the end of the show because tonight we have a lot of stuff to talk about with regards to how this whole COVID-19 thing has affected your relationships. Kung may problema, so tatry nating masolusyonan. Kung may mga maganda namang nangyari, isi-share din natin yan. And of course, that's happening with Miss Pauline Turgo.
Hi Hans, how are you
Hey,
today?
I am so
no,
good.
no, I'm excited for today because we're talking about the very big, issue, no,
Mhm.
relationships. So we're really excited, and we have a very good coach today. Pero let me just give a background of Mastermind for everybody who's just signing in. So Mastermind po is a group of people like me, Hans, Chad, and Kate, and Jazz Barinaga, that we are a group of people. We want to help the Filipinos have a better life. And so we have teamed up with international coaches trained by Tony Robbins to give you free advice because we know that right now, wala naman po talaga tayong kakayahan. Most of us, we don't have extra money to pay for a coach, but we have so many problems facing us because of the pandemic. So we want to make an impact to a lot of people by bringing in the international coaches and giving you free advice. So we believe that learning is not just from traditional teachers, but from people with extensive experiences. And we also believe that through meaningful conversations, we can achieve a greater solution. Okay, so
Yeah.
Hans, pakilala mo na ang ating
You spoke
super
about
coach.
learning. You spoke about needing to be guided through this whole thing. And friends who are with us tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce our coach who hails all the way from Ireland. He's a super coach, he's an author, and eto na, konting teaser, he is gonna give us something towards the end of the show. Meron siyang surprise for us. And I am just so excited to finally be hearing from him and learning from him all the way from Ireland. Please welcome Coach Zach.
Hans, Pauline, it's lovely to be with you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to Mastermind PH, your first time and hopefully not the last.
Thank
Coach
you.
Zach, please introduce yourself to our audience tonight.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here, all the way from sunny Ireland.
Okay.
My background is in coaching and business and running businesses and helping entrepreneurs. So it's a broad spectrum of people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they are all human. So it's human issues facing them all. So that's what I've been doing. I've also been helping a lot of women in Ireland dealing with their divorce as well, going through difficult divorces, up against a system which was potentially geared against them. So helping a lot of women navigate the divorce path as well, and 99% of the time achieving successful outcomes.
So there you have it, Coach Zach. You were like
Yes.
saying divorce and all that. So before a couple does reach that extreme, wherein
Yes.
they would decide to separate from each other, it they have to come through a lot of problems, right? And
Correct.
um,
Yes.
having this COVID-19 pandemic right now, Pao, di ba,
Yeah.
you made a
I,
poll, tapos
yeah,
you were asking
we were asking the
people the
viewers, and
problems.
I hope, yes, I hope that they still get a chance to write their comments. Where are you right now? And we'd like to ask all of you, ano na po yung inyong relationship right now? Ano na po yung status ninyo?
Mhm.
Ito
So
po
yun
ba ay ano? broken, oo, yan na ito ay nasira during the pandemic, or ito po ba ay nag-iumpisa pa lamang, or is it getting stronger, or ano po ba ito, ah, nagkakalabuan na ba kayo dahil sa dami ng problema ngayon? Do let us know
Oo.
po para we can ask Coach Zach on what to do for your situation.
Yeah, so my friends, our dear viewers, if you have questions, feel free to write it in the comment section. And then we have our crew backstage,
Yes. Oh,
sifting
wait.
through all your comments, and then um, in the during the duration of the show, they will be pinning some of your comments for us to see. So uh,
Yes.
for us to answer, of course, for our coaches to answer, for Coach Zach and for Coach
Mm.
Pauline to answer. So um,
For
let's
the
start with
meantime,
the
Hans. Yes,
yes.
for the
Let's
meantime,
start with the
Hans.
basic. Coach
Yes.
Zach, the things that you see this pandemic has done to relationships, what are these things?
Well, I think first of all, Hans, some context is important. I think it's we're acknowledge if you acknowledge the current situation, we are about to enter week 8 of this lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
and this
Mm.
has been once in a lifetime event. There is no
Yes.
guidance, there is no rule book for this. So, and we are all in this together. So it's important to acknowledge that we are all learning as we go along. So there are no right or wrongs. Everyone is doing the best they can in difficult situations. And I think it's important. Most people don't mention this. One of the reasons this feels so strange is that throughout history, when there has been disaster, when there has been catastrophe, we are used to taking action. We have,
Mm.
whether it's a fire, we have a fireman running to action. Whether it's a war, we have our military. We had the Gulf War, we had 9/11, we've had earthquakes, we've had reliefs. Every single time, humans are conditioned to act with action. This is the first time the whole world is being told to act by not taking action, by staying at home. Our minds can't comprehend that. So that's already putting pressure on our systems. We are being
Mm-hmm.
told to do nothing, stay at home. We're not used to that. So that's putting pressure on all of us. So if you are staying at home right now, if you are at home, you should praise yourself because you are helping to save lives. You are helping to ease pressure in hospitals. So you are, in your own way, contributing to the overall scheme of things. So it's important to remember that. And also,
Yes.
it's important to remember that whilst in some conditions we may be on top of each other with families, with grandparents, at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, there'll be some people, regrettably, in hospitals on their own with no one. So whilst you may be feeling pressure at
Yes.
home, you may be thinking, oh my God, I'm going crazy. There's too many people here. Just think of that person who's in the hospital on their own without anyone, or is perhaps in lockdown on their own without anyone to talk to. So there are two extremes. And if you are at one extreme, just think about the person at the other extreme. But it's suffering on both sides. So if you are in a situation where your house is crowded and you are on top of each other, there are people out there who unfortunately have no one. So hopefully that should give you some context.
Yes. Yes, Zach. I think also for us, especially in the Philippines, this is once in a lifetime. I hope, that this is happening. I think it's the strangest occurrence that too many things are happening at the same time. Like, for sure, we will have a lot of pregnancies after this. For sure, a lot of babies after this. At the same time, we will have a lot of abuses that are running,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time we have a lot of breakups that's going to happen. So I think that the pandemic really focuses or emphasizes either your connection with each other or your disconnection with each other. One or the other, it's going to happen. And I think there is the struggle there. And my favorite psychotherapist, Esther Perel, said that disasters are relationship accelerators. So those things that you have put off for a long time, when a disaster strikes, you're going to make a decision really soon. more, you know,
So, Pao, ang sinasabi mo with that statement, sorry, Coach Zach, sorry, I have to say this in our language. Ang sinasabi mo dyan, Pao, yung mga
mm-mm,
naging, uh, yung mga problema nung mga nasa, may mga relasyon, halimbawa, mag-asawa or mag-shota, boyfriend,
mm-mm.
girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend. Ang sinasabi mo, because of this pandemic, meron silang mga hindi na pag-usapang issue noon na ngayon dahil dyan, dahil dito sa sitwasyon natin,
Yes, because of what's happening.
magsusurface.
That yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
So,
for example, yung
sige.
mga OFWs na
Mhm.
yan mga ganyan, no, they work abroad for a long time. Most of them aged na, matanda na, nag-iisip na yan. Pagod na ako, I want to be with my children. And so sasabihin niya in 5 years time, I want to have enough money to go home. But then with this disaster, iisipin mo, oh my God, am I going back to that kind of life? Babalik pa ba ako dun sa trabaho yun? Or do I have a job to go back to? So
Mhm.
yung 5 years na yun or 3 to 5 years na plano mo will not work anymore. You have to decide now. Okay? Mag-business na lang kaya ako, hindi na ako babalik. So, ibig sabihin na accelerate lahat because of what's happening.
I
Wala na yung
see.
timeline mo, natatanggal na. Or for
Oo, yung mga
example,
plano mo na fixed,
yes,
biglang nagulo
bigla,
lahat ngayon. Oo.
yes, kasi dahil sa nangyari, or I'll give you a very good example too. Mag-boyfriend and girlfriend, nurse sa abroad, no? And then meron silang plano na magpakasal in 1 to 2 years time. But the girl
Mhm.
is supporting the whole family. Ngayon, may isip niya, ano ba, nagsabi siya, sige, magpapakasal tayo in 1 year's time, I'm coming back home. But now you can't do it. You're stuck wherever you are. And syempre, hindi siya uuwi because mawawalan siya ng trabaho. So, in that sense, you have to make a decision too na ipopostpone ko muna yung marriage ko.
Mhm.
And then I'll
Mhm.
stay with my job. I know for sure it's at the back of her mind for a long time, but pinoprolong lang niya na, sige, I'll try in 2 years' time. But now, everything is accelerated. You have to face whatever it is that's bugging the two of you or all your issues. Yun
Mhm.
yung challenge for everybody.
Okay, so my first question to Coach Zach is, for people in a relationship but are now forced to stay physically apart, um, what can you say? What can you say to them? We start with them, the people who are in a relationship but physically apart.
Well, that must be very distressing. They must be feeling a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of sense of loss, suffering, anxiety, fear. I think they all play their part, obviously, but you should try and focus on the assets you do have, on the communication you do have. Are the two people well? Are they safe? Are they able to
Mm.
communicate somehow, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
through WhatsApp or social media? Are they staying in touch? And those simple things, if you focus on the positives, on the assets you have, and the relationship can still be nurtured by distance. If the two of you are still on the same page, there's so much you can still be discussing, and perhaps focus on the things that you like about each other, on the things that you miss about each other. Make plans of what you're going to do when you get back together, the things you used to do together, the favorite restaurants, the favorite walks you used to do. Talk about positives and talk about things which nurture the relationship and strengthen it, and all the happy memories you had when you got together, the good things you did, the films you saw, all those things. If you keep it positive, keep it light, try not to get stuck into negative stuff, try not to get stuck into worries.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if your partner has concerns, listen, show empathy, be someone they can talk to about their frustrations, but try not to let that negativity marinate you, because otherwise it'll just bring you down to a bad place. Try and be the best person available for your partner. Listen, be kind, be gentle, be respectful, and keep it positive, keep it light, because Lord knows at the moment there's negativity everywhere. So you don't need any more of it to bring you down to a worse place.
All right. So, narinig niyo yun, viewers. If you're physically apart, just go keep on communicating, usap lang, chikahan ng mga masasayang memories ninyo. That definitely can help. Pao, ikaw, kasi parang that was a man saying, here's what
Yeah.
you should do. As a woman naman, you may have, some other
Uh,
things to add. If two people are
Yes,
in a
because
relationship pero physically apart.
yeah, because some women we're different. Now we're different creatures. Our language of expression is different.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to hear from a man all the time that we matter. And this is what is very important for me now. And this is just my opinion and my advice to everybody. You have to have a ritual between the two of you, so that that time that you have together is the special time. It's different from all the time work time or me time, but this one is a special time between the two of you. So what do I mean? For example, you have a good morning text. Okay, try to
Mm-hmm.
really reach out and ask, how was your sleep? Kumusta yung tulog mo kagabi? You're not just asking that because wala ka na matanong, but you're really interested in what's going on with him. How do you feel about today? Do you feel
Mm-hmm.
okay? And also, halimbawa sa gabi, it's very important for me, no, na dinner should be between the two of you. Try to do the other things ahead of time and have dinner with that special person. Kayo lang dalawa, if possible. Lalo na if there is distance. If the time is not good, like ibang time zone, then you can do something else. But there should be a ritual between the two of you, like even a good evening, like before you go to bed, after you say your prayers, you say, okay, good night, I love you. It shows that you are the last person on my mind before I sleep. And then I wish you well. And it's saying to him, I affirm you, I choose you. You really need to express what you feel, especially during this time. It's very important, especially for the women. And I think the men has to realize that because malayo kayo sa isa't isa. So make those special time together count.
Mm-hmm. So yun, kasi nga, ang hirap no, lalo na dito sa atin, sa Pilipinas. Coach Zach, actually, the reality here in the Philippines is that we have a lot of families with
Mm,
parents physically separated because one,
mm,
as Pauline has mentioned earlier, one is working abroad, and then
mm,
it has to be just the other partner left at home with the kids and having to take care of everything while
mm.
the partner is offshore uh, doing his
Abroad,
job.
yes.
Yes. So it's actually a dynamic that's quite unique to our society because I'm sure you have heard of the Filipino OFW, the Filipino Overseas Foreign Worker, and now our concern, my concern rather, sorry, is that when you are separated, does it make it much more difficult to talk about the things you do for your family, and when there is like a difficulty there, how do you patch that up?
Uh, Hans, first of all, yes, the Filipinos carry global tourism. We'd have no business without you guys. So you make a massive contribution around the world, whether
Oh,
it's airlines,
thank you.
hotels, whatever. So we all know and love you and honor you and respect you for that. Thank you so much. But I would say for distance communications, you treat it the same way you would face to face. Just because it's distance, yes, that presents a barrier in our heads, but still the same rules apply. Reach out, communicate, problem solve. I think both parents, whether the one who's offshore is making an equal contribution, and the parent who's at home, they're both working hard towards the same objectives. Remind yourself of that. You're both trying to make a better family for yourselves and for your kids. So you both have a common aim. You're both working hard. Appreciate that both of you are stuck in this situation. Not every of you did this to each other. This is a global pandemic. You're stuck. So what can we do?
Mhm.
We can either bounce around the walls arguing and end up exhausted from arguing, or we can recognize we're stuck. But I treat it the same way as I would face to face. What's the problem? How can we fix it? What steps do we need to take? How can I help you? Um, and it works both ways. The person offshore might be in a difficulty as well. He or she may need some support or advice or guidance. So treat it the same as you would a face-to-face problem to be overcome. Again,
Yeah.
communication.
How?
Yes.
Ikaw?
Yes, I agree. No, I agree with Coach Sa. That is the key. You really need to talk. And I suggest there should be no topic that is off topic. You should be able to discuss anything that that you need to discuss. Of course, there should be light and fun moments too, and also
Mhm.
there should be also time for you to have some serious talk about your goals. The important thing here is, again, first you should have shared goals together. You work as a team, you have a vision, you're working towards something. And also, para you have better success, you should
Mhm.
have a commitment to maximize the happiness of each other. So, for example, as a woman, partner ko, my boyfriend or my husband, okay, I have to think of ways to maximize his happiness. Okay, how do I do that? What does he need from me? Does he need more contact, or I mean, calls or whatever? In the same way, my husband or my partner or sa inyo, kung ano man, they should ask also in return, how can I help you? How can I maximize your happiness? Because if that is their mindset, the distance will not be a problem.
All right. So, viewers, again, we encourage you to make comments or ask questions while these two very, very accommodating and experienced people are with us tonight. So, doon na tayo nag-start dun sa mga taong physically apart pero they're in a
Mm.
relationship. Kung nararanasan nyo yan ngayon, if you have any difficulty, feel free to comment and ask our coaches. Tapos, Miss Pau, you mentioned that when people
Yes.
are separated, it presents a barrier for them to be able to communicate as much as they would want to, probably. Which leads me to my next question. Paano naman yung mga stuck together? Coach Zach,
Yes.
um, uh, are relationship problems different for people who are physically apart and for people who at this situation have no choice but to be together every minute, every single hour of the day? Does that pose a different problems?
Yes, it does, Hans. It's obviously it's a different set of challenges. The proximity, the lack of space to breathe, the routine being thrown up in the air. We're used to going to work. You're used to being apart for some part of the day. That's all changed. So you are on top of each other. But again, you can be proactive about this. You can see it as a jigsaw puzzle to be solved. How do we fix this? How do we deal with this in the temporary, short-term interim? The good news, I think, from all the governments around the world is that we do have an end in sight. So it's not hopefully something that's going to last much longer. But in the meantime, I think sit down, make a plan. How you're going to spend the day together. Make a routine for each of you. Maybe arrange a quiet room where one of you can be quiet on your own at peace for an hour, and agree boundaries. If there's subjects you don't want to discuss all day long, just agree, structure your day basically. So structure your day from the time you're getting up to the time you're going to bed, and plan it so both of you know what the other one is doing. Agree a time for dinner, and agree schedule activities for both of you to be doing separately. So treat the day like a normal day, but organize your own plans, whether that's reading, exercise, going to the grocery store. Again, if you look at it like something just to be put into a plan, rather than it being left open, like a car driving without someone steering the wheel,
Mhm.
then obviously it's going to go wrong. I think if you just sit down, discuss, and also at the end of the day, ask your partner, what 3 things can I do better for you tomorrow? Or what 3 things can I improve for you tomorrow? And make that both a two-way conversation. So gradually you can start to improve the relationship, even if it's been difficult up till now. Tonight, before you go to bed, ask your partner, what 3 things can I do for you tomorrow to make it better? And tell them the same thing. And then start to just layer it up. It doesn't have to be a magic wand. It's not an overnight fix. But if you
Mhm.
structure it and ask questions and listen actively and be a good listener and then take action the next day, you will slowly start to improve the situation and release the pressure.
Pau, ikaw naman.
Yes.
Paano naman
Yes,
yung
I
yung stuck sila, wala silang choice.
yes. Oh
Yung
my
apat na
God. I
sulok
mean,
ng bahay nila,
yes.
mayat maya nagkakasalubong sila.
Yes, actually, the smaller the house is, the bigger the challenge is. Pag mas
Mhm.
madami ding mga tao sa bahay, mas malaki rin ang challenge mo. In our society, may in-laws ka to deal with, your brother, your sister, what the
Mhm.
yayas and all. So, it's really one big barangay with you, no, sometimes. And if you're with them 24/7, okay, medyo magkakaroon kayo ng problema. So, ang suggestion ko, just like Coach Zach said, no, routine is number one. Why? Lalo na sa mga homemakers, it's very important. Why? Because it will give you freedom. Okay, otherwise you'll
Mhm.
be doing everything for everybody and you will be burned out. So let everybody know they have a role to play during this time. It's very important. Ano magagawa miski na maliliit ng mga bata and everybody else working together. And it has to be communicated to everybody so that you will not be burdened. And also, what we don't want to do is may sense of entitlement yung mga bata. You know, they will play the games the whole night. Tapos gigising ko anong oras the following day, tatawagin mo na lang, oh, kain na kayo. They have that sense of entitlement which we don't want because magkakaroon ng resentment naman yung overburdened na tao. So that's what we don't want to happen. So what I'm
Okay.
saying is routines are very important so that the person is not overburdened. But also, let me just say something now. The pandemic is very unique in a sense that you are seeing everybody through a magnifying glass. I cannot stress that enough. Why? You will see the cracks all the time. Okay, magkasama kayo palagi, mabubwisit ka, or totally the opposite. You will be
Uh-huh.
totally in love with your partner. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. You know, he's so guapo, he's so sweet, he's helping me out all the time. I'm so lucky. Or totally the opposite. Ano ba naman itong tao to? Hindi man lang naiisip ako. I'm so tired already. So,
Mhm.
yung
Mhm.
ganong klaseng dynamics na within the relationship. And this is where the challenge is because may emphasize either your connection together or your disconnection. And if there is a disconnection, the chances of having a conflict is very high. So if there is a conflict, it's either two things. You turn towards each other and you do so with heightened emotions. Medyo inis kayo palagi sa isa't isa, or you turn away from each other and you disconnect. So that is the
Oh.
struggle when you're with your partner 24/7. And that's what Coach Zach is saying.
Uh-huh. Okay, so to our crew, meron na bang mga comments yung ating mga viewers? Sorry, because I'm not particularly looking at the page now because I really, really want to focus on what our coaches will be telling us tonight. So, Shad, kung meron tayong mga comments or mga questions, again, a reminder lang to please pin it on the screen so that we'll see it. Coach Zach, ayan.
Yeah, there's
Ah,
one.
there's one.
From
She says, Anne Cunningham says, agreed, this pandemic is going to have a set of consequences unto itself, pregnancies, relationships, etc. Um,
Hi Anne, thanks for watching.
okay, with this comment, I just want to ask, well, a woman doesn't get pregnant without, a man. So, is it possible to have too much of that? Since
Intimacy.
yes, since it's lockdown and all that stuff.
Guys go
When
first. Coach Zach goes first.
Um, I'm not sure what the policy is over there with regards to contraception, whether that's freely available or if it's frowned upon or if it's something that's commonly used. But other than that, if that's freely available, then between two consenting adults who are, I don't think it's possible to have too much of it. I think it's a great way to connect and great way to get exercise, to stay healthy, to
Mhm.
I don't see many problems with it. It's besides the issues of unwanted pregnancies, or if it's going to have any side issues or side effects which are not to the benefit of both parties. But other than that, it's yeah, absolutely, because it's a happy, loving act. So what possible harm can there be from it?
Pao, ikaw, should couples be having too much of intimacy now that we're on lockdown. Tapos yun nga, a lot of yung mga padre de familia, they're not in their jobs. Yung mga moms naman, they have too much in their hands. Is it fair, for example, to say wag muna ngayon?
Always the woman or the man, or you always have the right to say no when you want to. No, that's
Of
that's
course.
a
Yeah.
given. But before I start, I want to say hello to everybody. Pala po, they're all watching and they're commenting from Batangas, Noel, Vanessa, and everybody from the City Hall. Hello, everybody there.
Oh, hello,
Um,
Batangas.
Batangas City pa. Hello. And also my team, Ami and Vera and all. So, uh, first, if it's a way of connecting, remember that the men, okay, they connect through intimacy. Okay,
Mhm.
when you are more intimate, they are more connected to the partner.
Okay.
And women naman, on the other hand, we are emotional eh, di ba? So we should be secured in our emotions with the man before we become intimate. So if it will make them closer, it really depends on the status of their relationship. If they are very connected, then it will be a very beautiful thing that they do, no? And I don't think there's too much of that if they really are in love. Sabi ko nga, if they are so connected, they will become even more in love. Mama-magnify yon because of what's happening. But if they're disconnected, okay, then I think that will be the challenge. If they're just doing it because out of duty, walang choice yung babae, magagalit yung lalaki, maiinis or what, o takot siyang maghahanap ng iba, then, may mga problems underneath it that they should look at as a couple. So
Okay.
again, okay, during this pandemic, lalabas yung lahat ng tinatago mo. Okay, that ones that you have repressed for a long time, no, na hindi niyo
Oo nga.
pinag-uusapan. Lalabas yan because yung palagi mong kasama, oh my God, naiinis ako dito sa taong to. Lalo ka na ngayon maiinis. Okay,
Okay.
because you're always
So,
together.
yeah, bukod pa doon, what other possible conflicts can occur in relationships right now, because of the situation the whole world is in, and particularly here in the Philippines, our unsure unsure policies, unsure decisions from authorities. A lot of things are unsure in the Philippines right now. Do you see any other strain on relationships? Can you please tell us about that, what those could be, and how, if faced with it, how we can hurdle it? Coach Zach?
Um, do you mean generally what's going on through people's minds right now that's going to be causing them worries? I
Yes.
mean,
Or we can, or the top 5 problems that Coach
Yes,
Zach
yes.
can talk about.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, number one that's going through everyone's mind at the moment is fear, which is causing unpredictable behavior, fear about money, about jobs, about the future, about their children's education. And often that fear is manifesting itself into anger, and they are taking that out on their partner, unfortunately. So there is a lot of that going on. Petty squabbling, arguing over things which ordinarily would be small are suddenly magnified. As Pauline said, the magnifying glass is out. So fear is number one for everyone. And
Okay.
following on from that, there is a lack of awareness of this, which is leading to an escalation of conflicts and rising tensions. And as we've already discussed, the lack of breathing space for people in close proximity for unprecedented amounts of time, it's again causing people to bounce off each other, and then conflicts going further into a dark hole. Often people are blaming each other when in fact the problem is the lockdown. It's not their fault. It's the lockdown. It's not you. It's an outside external decision that's been taken to protect you. So the other person may be behaving perfectly normally, but you're seeing a side of them which is irritating you for no reason. And also, perhaps the most important one, many people are actually unhappy with themselves. And now, because of this, are having to face themselves and the reality of their own lives, and their own frustrations are bubbling up. And they don't have the tools, and they don't know how to reconcile it or how to get out of this. So a lot of people maybe having inner hidden problems that are bubbling to the surface now because they has nowhere to hide. They have to face it, but they don't know what to do.
Oh, that is so interesting. Especially the fifth one. So those are five things that are happening to people now. Um, can you help us? Can you help our viewers? If there's anything you can tell them how to cope with any of those five problems that some of our viewers might be actually facing right now.
I think, Hans and Pauline, the most important relationship, especially now, is the relationship with yourself. And that dictates everything. If your inner world is not where you want it to be, your outside world is never going to be in alignment with where you want it to be. So this will impact how you show up in all your relationships, whether it's at work, with the kids, with your parents, with everyone, your partner. So there is not much point in having a poor relationship with yourself. Wouldn't you rather be strong and resilient so you can help those around you in the best way possible? So I think self-awareness, you need to start having conversations with yourself about what you really want. Um, Recognize that we are all creations of God, of nature, and we all deserve the best life that we can possibly get. When we were being born and we're on that conveyor belt, that God was, he had his rubber stamp ready for approval. He wasn't saying one person is worthy of a great life and one person is not worthy of a great life. We're all worthy of great lives. But that starts with our own relationship with ourselves. So we need to have a
Mhm.
talk to ourselves, first of all, and determine what's most important to us. And that's the best way that we can improve all our relationships around us.
Oh, okay. I get that. Actually, ha having you with us tonight, sir, Coach Zach, um, and you saying that and hearing me that from you, what's happening to me now is that I'm realizing really that um, conflict with other people or with with the people around you, um, it does it somehow starts when inside you're actually really very conflicted with yourself as well. And
Yep.
from the first episode of Mastermind up to this one, this is actually the fifth. um, there is one common thread that I have heard from the rest of the coaches that we've had prior to you, and it is that it is very very important that you have a good relationship with yourself first.
Yep.
So viewers, ang hope ko is malinaw na malinaw sa atin yon na kadalasan kaya tayo nagkakaproblema with other people is maybe because may problema tayo sa sarili natin. Maybe we just don't respect ourselves enough, we just don't love ourselves enough, we just don't give ourselves the time to feel when it's supposed to be okay for you to feel pain, for you to feel anger, for you to feel sadness and all that. Di ba, Coach Pau?
Yes, oo. So, we have someone coming in from Isabela City, and Batangas City. Hello, everybody. That
Mhm.
is true. Everything starts and ends with yourself. Actually, the only thing that can solve your problems is yourself. So, the most important thing is you focus on yourself first before you can help others. Di ba, pag nag-fly tayo, do you remember the stewardess always tells us,
Mhm.
strap it on yourself first before you try to help someone else. Yung mga oxygen mask is the same. So you have to make sure that you yourself, you're in a good place so you can make the right decisions. You take care of yourself. You put your boundaries in place. You be happy no matter what. That's the only thing you can do right now. No, and the others you cannot control anymore. You try to do your best. So that is what Coach Zach is saying. So sa mga mommies po, no, yung mga homemakers natin at
Mhm.
home, limang anak, apat maliliit, yung iba, syempre they're so burdened. They cook, they clean the house, they do the laundry, and all of this stuff. Ang init sa loob ng bahay, di ba? Lalabas and on.
Oo,
You're
dito
thinking
sa bahay
about
ko ang
may
init.
anong kakain, Correct. Ano pang gagawin ng mga batang to? Iyakan ng iyakan. Anong kakainin later? All of these worries goes through her mind. Even for the fathers too. Liquor ban pa dati. Ang hirap. Hindi ka makainom. So, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And as long as you're doing your best, I think naman, there is you shouldn't worry too much. But always be kind to yourself and take care of yourself. Yun din ang sinasabi ni Coach Zach.
Okay. So, ano pa ba? Ako, I have a question from the two of you. For the two of you, because I'm single. I've been
Yes.
single for like 6 years now, and I'm thinking there are people watching us who are in the same situation as I am. That you're going through this pandemic alone. Your friends who you are usually with, you cannot go see them physically now. Um, as a single person, my question would be, should um should I feel a little down? That is it okay that I feel a little down maybe from time to time that I don't have anyone to be with while I go through the situation?
That's Hans. That's perfectly human, perfectly normal, and you should allow yourself that privilege to experience emotions which are absolutely human. We are all having ups and downs and days where we get up and think, "Oh, I feel like getting back into bed." As for being single or being in a relationship, we have a great phrase here in Ireland that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Every situation comes with its own challenges, whether it's your job, your boss, your relationship with your neighbors. It could be there is potential for problems in any relationship. So this notion that I'm single and somehow missing out, it's not true. If you're single, look at the bright side. You have options. You have no one to answer to. You can do whatever you want. You can get up every morning and decide I'm doing X, Y, Z. I don't have to answer to anyone. There are people in relationships or marriages who can't enjoy that freedom. So there are pluses and minuses in every facet of life. It's what you make of it. And I don't think being in a relationship is something to be looked up to or pity yourself if you haven't got it. As I said, the biggest and most important relationship anyone can have is with themselves first. And if everything else can fall into place afterwards. I know people who have been married for 40 years who fight like cats and dogs every single day for the last 20 years. That is not a
Wow.
relationship. That's just a mess. You don't want that kind of situation either. At least, if as long as you have peace of mind, as long as you trust and depend on yourself, as long as you are healthy, then I think you are in a far, far better place than a lot of people at this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Pao, would you
Hans
like to
can,
add
yeah,
anything to that?
yeah. Sometimes being low doesn't mean you should be or you are lonely. It doesn't mean that way. You can have a relationship with yourself. Remember yung mga slides that you see about Keanu
Mhm.
Reeves. He always say, I bring myself out. I mean, I have a date with myself. I'm not lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. So I do things with myself all the time. It's the same with you. You have a relationship with yourself. I mean, you have a great life. Sabi mo nga, di ba, na parang wala nag-iba sa buhay mo ngayon.
Uh-uh.
It's still the
Actually,
same.
kanina.
So, yes. So, in a sense, you're in a better position. Don't you agree? Hindi na yanig ang buhay mo except for the work, no? But it's almost the same as you had before. Whereas, yung iba, okay, na ang dynamics nila is different. Like,
Mhm.
they go out all the time. They have
Yung may
Friday
mga
nights,
laging
travel.
ka-date. Oo.
Yes, and all of these things are, a thing of the past. We'll never go back to it. And in fact, they're at a disadvantaged position because they're still waiting for their old life to resume. When in fact, it's not coming back. So those
Wait,
who
wait.
are moving,
Wait. It's not coming back. Ano yun? Those are very definite words. What do you exactly mean?
I mean, yung hindi katulad na, yung like, for example, no, like other disasters, we had the Taal volcano eruption.
Mm-hmm.
You know na nag-erupt, okay, everybody's there, you pick up the pieces in the aftermath. There's the end of the disaster. May hangganan. But
Mm-mm.
with the other disasters kasi, like this one, our pandemic, there is no end in sight. We don't know when it's going to end. So there is prolonged agony and prolonged uncertainty. That's why heightened ang mga emotions and mas masyadong uncertain lahat ng tao, anxious, no? So, ayun ang sinasabi ko sa'yo na para bang nagkakagulo ngayon yung mga tao. In your case, hindi masyadong naiba yung buhay mo. Sa
Yung
kanila
routine ko.
kasi, yes, yung routine mo is still the same. So it's easier for you to cope with what's happening. With them kasi, parang ang tinitingnan nila, kailan ba ito matatapos? I want to go back to going around the malls, going out with my friends on Fridays, having a reunion, going, abroad, and all of this stuff. Iniintay nila yon. And in a sense, they're stuck waiting. So they're more at a disadvantaged position. So I mean, going back to what you're saying, even if you're alone, you can be happy and not lonely because ang flip side naman niya, even if, for example, I have a big house and many
Mm-hmm.
people are with me, I can feel lonely.
Yeah.
Diba?
Oo. Actually,
Yes, because,
ang dami kong
diba?
kilalang ganyan na they're stuck in this lockdown. They're with
Mm.
their family, supposedly. Mahal naman nila yung pamilya nila. Pero may mga point sa kanilang dumadating na parang, ano na nangyayari? Ba't hindi ako masaya na kasama sila? Parang ganun yung question nila. And Coach Zach, yes,
Yes, ask Coach Zach that one.
I want to ask you, I
He has
was just
something to
mentioning,
say.
yeah,
Hans, he has
okay,
something to
go
say.
ahead, Coach Zach.
I just wanted to add, Hans, two things. I think in 2020, no one should live by society's expectations. You should be living by your own expectations, your own heart, your own desires, your own dreams. You should be your own master and commander. Don't let other people judge you and don't feel judged because you are not conforming to what others are doing. And secondly, when you are ready, the right person will turn up in your life. I guarantee you, when you're ready.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Not that I'm actively looking nowadays, but anyways, Coach Zach, Pauline mentioned that she said something that's like really really hit me. Pauline said things are not going back to what they were, and that's
Yes.
scary. That is scary. That's a scary thing. How does a person prepare for that, if at all? Is it possible for you to prepare for things to not go back the way they were?
I think she's right. I think this is a time of huge opportunity. If you have the right mindset, if you are open-minded, if you are flexible, then you should be excited about what's ahead. Yes, there will be people suffering. Yes, there will be hardship. Yes, there's going to be job losses. But a lot of things that we are leaving behind were also not that good. We were, all the conflicts, all the working from that every hour God sends, the pressure on materialism, having to buy things just to look good and status, all those things hopefully will not be so important to us anymore. Working working for a crappy boss or in a company that you don't believe in, those things I think will fall away as well. So I think if you are flexible and put fear to one side, this is a great opportunity. Things are going to happen. New industries are going to emerge. New opportunities will emerge, and if you're open to them, they will come to you. And we are going to lose a lot of what was not so good in the past. Hopefully, that'll go with the past as well. In London and in Ireland, people stuck on the motorway and the freeway for 2-3 hours a day and seeing their
Mhm.
kids for 1 hour, going to a crappy job, having a boss who's putting you down all the time, commuting back again for 2 hours and getting 1 hour with your kids, and then you get emails from your boss to do more work at home. Hopefully, those things will start to. Hopefully, humanism will come back and a more caring, nurturing society where everyone can thrive instead of those who are just rich at the top.
Oh, that's a very good thing to look forward to, and hopefully, in fact, hopefully it does happen after this pandemic. Relationships, Pau. Uh,
Yes, tell me. I know, I mean, tama naman yung sinabi ni Coach Zach, no, na,
mhm,
I mean, like, what I was saying before, yung disasters before, ang daling bumalik sa dati nating buhay,
mhm.
Pumutok ang bulkan, nagka-earthquake, next week, pwede ka pumunta na SM. Okay, pwede kang
Oo.
pumunta sa, makakain ka sa, your favorite restaurants. Your life goes
Mhm.
on. Okay, with your friends, hoy, magkita tayo or whatever. But now, everything is different. You
And
have a new normal. Yes.
and one
Yes,
more thing,
Zach.
we wouldn't be having this conversation were it not for the pandemic. This wouldn't have happened. Your creation, this mastermind. So
Mhm.
you guys found
Exactly.
opportunity.
Correct. So that's true. That's true. So what I was just saying is because of what's happening, it is an accelerator for everything. Okay, so you need to refocus, reprioritize your life. This is the time. If you use it very wisely, then you'll be able to, make better decisions. I think, and
Ah,
that's the reason why we're here. We're helping people get to know their problems first.
and which leads me to another question. You are saying right now that, all right, these problems within the relationship that people might be having right now. Uh, you are the two of you are helping our viewers, myself, of course, um, be go th- be able to face them. You are helping us. You are teaching us tools for us to be able to face these problems. But my question is, if you are someone who is in an abusive relationship and this pandemic has made it that much worse.
Yes, for sure, it will.
Mm-mm.
It will. The number of
How do you
abuses have risen, yes, have risen up significantly
how do you
because of
escape it
proximity.
now?
You know, there's no escape, diba? I mean, there's so many things that you can do. It depends
Mhm,
on the abuse that's happening. So, of course, pag physical abuse, you have to call on the law. I mean, you have to ask the barangay for help. Meron naman silang restraining order that they can use for the women to help them get
mhm.
out of that situation. Now, if we're talking about, for example, emotional and the verbal abuse, now that is a little bit challenging because only that person can determine when enough is enough. Okay?
Oh.
Yun yung tao lang nang nandun sa sitwasyon na yun can make that decision, no one else. So, it's up to that person when he is ready or she is ready. Sabi ko nga sa no, this is the time when all the cracks will show and it
Aha.
will be magnified.
So kung
So, kung
halimbawa if you're
abusive na talaga yan to begin with, all the more now.
mas lalong lalala.
Mas
And
lalong lalala.
now given the circumstances, would you say that if someone watching us right now is in an abusive relationship, would you say, Pau, that now is the time to get out of that?
Yes, I mean, if it is hurting you, okay, and you
Mhm.
are, I mean, making you doubt yourself, it's affecting the quality of life for you and your children, you have to make a decision to protect yourself. And I think Coach Zach will be in a better position too because that's his expertise. Coach Zach?
Coach?
Well, again, I agree with a lot of what Pauline has said. Is if there's physical abuse going on, yes, call in the law, call in the police, and do it every time, even if it's 20 times a week. Call them
Mhm.
20 times a week. Don't feel guilty. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Secondly, start building up a file, a case history, which may help you for the separation or annulment. Thirdly, is there anywhere else you can go? A friend you can depend on that you can go and stay with while you
Mhm.
sort your affairs out? Um, get to safety, basically. A restraining order, obviously, if that's possible, get the restraining order, get the person removed. But I think I heard that the restraining orders over there are not valid for very long. So you're kind of back at square one fairly quickly.
They have Coach Zach. They have what they call the barangay protection order that is only good for 15 days. But that
Yeah.
Huh?
is the no, that is the easiest and the fastest way to really get the wife or the women. It's part of the Violence Against Women Act. or I don't know if they call it an act or ordinance, but it's the fastest way to get them out of that situation. You apply to the barangay, do go get in touch with them, and then they will help you immediately. It will be given only for 15 days, but then you
Mhm.
can reapply for another extension. But at least it will help you. Okay,
Mm.
you need a village to help you here, a community to help you. If you are in abusive relationship, you get your support system going. Plan it out. Okay, don't make if you really want to get out of this situation, you need everybody's help. Okay, get those people who can help you, close to you, and get the plan going. Okay, so you can protect yourself and your children.
Pao, ang question ko, kasi nga, lockdown tayo ngayon. Um,
Mm-mm.
could you say that, yung mga authorities, supposedly, who are supposed to help people who are in suffering from abuse, could you still say na yung mga dapat na tumutulong sa kanila right now in this lockdown are still functioning the way they're supposed
Yes,
to?
they are. Yes, they are. As long as the barangay captain is there, and
Uh-huh.
I mean, then he can help you. The
Oo, kasi parang,
barangays are very, 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 very effective in this. They have been drilled. They have been trained for this. There is
okay.
a desk there with a woman, violence against women desk, I think, or if I'm correct, if I'm as long as I remember it right, and then
Mhm.
you can just ask them, okay, what to do. Importante po dito, and I do have to tell the women, don't be ashamed to ask for help. You have to ask for help if you
Mm,
are
if
in this
right now you are in an
situation.
abusive relationship, 'di ba?
Yes,
Okay.
yes po.
Coach Zach, I mentioned earlier that what's this? Yeah, it's difficult
It's
having to
anxious.
it's difficult having
Anxiety.
to
It's okay.
speak English for like a whole hour when it's not our native language. So
You're
sorry
doing great. You're
sometimes.
doing great.
I do
No,
buckle
it's
down.
okay. It's okay.
Anyway,
It's okay.
um
We can. Can
before
we?
my question, I would just like to give you the time to tell us anything more that you want to say.
I guess a lot of it comes back to your self-respect and your inner voice and your inner heart. People should try and get aware that when you were growing up as a child, when we grow up as a child, we're all born with a blank slate. There's no
Mm,
programming in us. But when we grow up, we have influences from our parents who are well intentioned. They love us. From our teachers, from society. Again, everyone is well intentioned, but sometimes those messages can limit us in what we think we are capable of. So we end up
Okay.
growing up with these limiting beliefs, which turn into voices inside our heads that you can't do this, you can't do that. Don't think above your station, that you're dumb, you're stupid. When you went to school, there could have been a teacher that said, you're not clever enough, don't do that. Those voices form our programming. And sometimes that can lead to us accepting less than good in our marriages. So just think back to your childhood and the voices you used to hear, and just recognize that you may be behaving in a way that you picked up as a child that is not serving you right now. And that's really, really important if you want to break that cycle and have the confidence to break that cycle. The example I give is, what is a computer? A computer is just a piece of hardware, electric circuits, silicon chips, wires in a shell. What makes a computer work is a program. And when we are growing up, we are being programmed. But what we sometimes fail to do as adults is update that program. So some people are still running on Windows 95 in their heads when they
Mm-hmm.
need to update the security, the patches, and update the program to reflect their own values, their own beliefs, their own ambitions, their objectives. So it could be that a lot of these people who are in these relationships are still running on old programs. Again, it comes back to self awareness and looking at yourself and finding out what it is that really matters to you, what truly matters to you. And the people who care about you, the people who you trust, your trusted friends, if you had a conversation with them, what do you think I'm really good at? What do you think I'm capable of? And then have the conversation with yourself. What do I truly want? And you will find that the answer may not be to be in this crappy relationship where I'm not being appreciated, I'm not valued, this person is not serving me, this person is not lifting me. You need to be with someone who's going to support you and help you thrive. So be aware of that computer program and the impact it probably had on you when you were growing up. Look at it and ask questions. Did I ever hear the phrase, money doesn't grow on trees? Did a teacher ever call me stupid? Did people ever laugh at me and I got very upset by it? Those things can stay inside your head. So you need to, self-awareness is really important, and having conversations with yourself about what could be holding you back and what ideally, if you couldn't fail, what would you do tomorrow? What would you love to do tomorrow?
Mm. Mhm. Correct.
Pao,
Hans?
ikaw.
Yeah, I totally agree with Coach Sa. And I
Mm,
hope we have more time to go through his slides. I mean, he has great ideas of thinking outside the box too.
mhm.
I read before, Coach Zach, do you remember you were saying there are some things that you would like the viewers to do, like brushing with their opposite hand
Yeah,
and
yeah,
uh, and all of those things, and the magical meditation that you say will guarantee to bring them calmness, in a few days. Oh, there you go. What can you talk about it for a while, about brushing with the left hand or what with the
yeah.
right hand?
The idea is to get the mind comfortable with change and uncertainty, which, if you are in a bad place in a relationship, you will have to get used to. So, one of the simplest exercises you can do, whichever hand you brush your teeth with, whether it's the right or left, tonight or tomorrow morning, brush with the opposite hand and then see
Mm,
what happens to your brain. Your brain will not like it. The point of
okay.
doing this is to get your brain comfortable and comfortable with change, comfortable with uncertainty. So you start getting used to this. Because
Mhm.
if you are going to make a decision, whether it's about your relationship or whether it's dealing with COVID, you will need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's just say that
Wow.
phrase to yourself a few times. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Don't think of it as something to be feared. Think of it as an opportunity to change your life for the better. It may feel uncomfortable in the beginning, but you will have to get over that. So this exercise, if you do it tonight, tomorrow, just watch your brain and observe it and see what it's doing. You will find that it's trying to open up new pathways to try and solve the problem. You will need those pathways going forward to address your difficulties. So again, the phrase is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And this is one of the ways to do that, because if you are going to be going through these life changes, you need to be aware of what's ahead of you and be comfortable in that mental state.
Yes,
Wow,
exactly.
I love that. I love that. It's
Oo.
something. How long do you need to do it, Coach Sam? I mean, if I'm right-handed, so I'm going to brush with my left starting tonight. So how long do you need to do it?
Do it until your brain is comfortable with it, and then you will have opened up a whole
I
new side
switched.
of your brain.
Ah,
That is
okay.
so interesting. Tapos,
So you're
I,
training your mind. It's
Yes,
oo.
programming your mind. Okay,
yes, yes,
that's very
yes.
nice.
Oh,
It's very
kasi
nice.
that is what actually we all have to be ready for, di ba? Like both of you said, things are never going back to what they were. So, kailangan talagang mga viewers mag-ready tayo. Kasi kahit ako feeling ko din malabo na in the very, very near future, like 2, 3 months from now, everything is back to normal. Like what a lot of people uh, are hoping for, parang malabong mangyari yun. So the more
Yeah,
ready we are to face, something new na naman because of this situation, something new, that something new could be bad or good, but if you're not gonna be very surprised by it, I think magiging mas madaling mag-cope. Correct?
yes. Coach
Tama ba
Sack, is
yun?
there any yeah, Coach Sack, is there any other exercise that we can do? Like, I mean, that's a good one because it's so easy to do and you can do it every
Mm-mm.
day. But
Well,
is
I
there
was
any?
if you for the donuts, that wasn't an exercise. That's just to show you one of the most important things. Again, that a human being does is decisions. decisions. And one of the most important decisions we make every single second of every single day is to decide what we are going to focus on. And where focus goes, I'm sure you've heard this, where focus goes, energy flows.
Energy
So,
flows, correct.
yeah,
True.
and results emerge after that. So, what are you focusing on every second of every day? Is it something that's lifting you? Is it something that's serving you? Is it something that's moving you forward? Or is it something that's negative? Is it something that's bringing you down into a dark place? Are you, for the picture of the donut, I was going to suggest, when you're looking at that donut, are you focusing on the donut or are you focusing on the whole? Are you focusing on what you haven't got or the blessings you have got? Are you focusing on positive or are you focusing on negative? Are you focusing on solutions or are you focusing on what you haven't got? Abundance or scarcity? So again, it's a self-awareness exercise. Audit yourself. What's the first thing I think of when I get up? Is it negative stuff? Is it bad stuff? Is it fear? Do I look at my phone and scan for the news and social media? What is everyone else doing? Or do I get up and focus on my plan for the day? How am I going to move forward with my projects? So the importance of focus is so important, and being mindful of your focus. That can ultimately determine whether you have a great day or an average day or a crappy day.
Correct.
Oh,
So,
yes. I love that. I love
so
that.
be
So nice.
ready. Be ready for, be comfortable being
With the
uncomfortable.
comfortable. So sa atin
Yeah.
yon, yung mga pinuput off nating ayaw gawin, maglinis ng mga bahay or whatever. You
Uh-uh.
better do it now. Yung mga stuff that you don't want to do, the decisions you are not looking forward to making, yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Zach, you start with baby steps. And
Uh-uh.
this is
And
the
then,
baby step. Yung brushing with your left hand. It's very uncomfortable nga naman, no? Or brushing your hair with the left hand, siguro.
uh-huh.
For, diba? Then you train your mind to really follow what you want, di ba?
Yes.
Para walang hesitation doon. I mean, di ba yung mga athletes, tinatanggal nila yung hesitation between the thought and the action. And
Mm-hmm.
it's training your body, yung muscle memory nila. And this is also what he's saying, okay? Try to do these things that are out of the routine so that when you need to do something that is so uncomfortable, you are ready for it. Your body will not be in
Uh-huh.
shock and there's no hesitation there. You will do it
Walang
immediately.
fear.
Walang fear, yes.
Oo, yung parang,
You will just do it.
dahil nasanay ka na laging, tawag dito, parang
You're doing
laging,
something new.
oo,
Yes.
something different, something out of your usual, something out of your routine. Dahil dito sa walang hiyang COVID na to, if something else happens, like a week from now, a month from now, hindi na tayo masyadong maluloka. Parang yun yung purpose ng
Yes.
exercise, di
Yun
ba?
yung purpose din nila.
Mm-mm.
Yes. That's
So kung
good.
ano
Coach
man
Zach,
yung,
yes,
so
go ahead.
sorry, Paul.
Go ahead,
Yes.
sorry. Hindi,
No,
go ahead,
ikaw,
San. Hank.
ako yung
No,
ano
I
lang,
mean,
kung ano man lang yung ibato pa sa atin itong sitwasyon na to, parang yun na nga, sa relasyon nyo, sa pamilya mo, sa jowa mo, sa anak mo, di ba? Parang, okay, kaya mo kasi parang na-switch mo na yung mind mo na, okay, iba na naman to, pero I can deal with this. Parang gano'n.
And I also want to go back to what Coach Zach is saying also, that most of the things that we're feeling right now is because of the pandemic. Okay. It's not really a normal feeling, but normal in a sense that it is expected to have these kinds of emotion during this situation. That's
Mhm.
what I mean, the normal doon. But pag wala naman yung pandemic, hindi naman normal yung nafe-feel natin, yung acute stress that we're feeling prolonged. Okay, so it adds up to our daily life. And yun na nga, naha-heighten lahat ng senses natin and emotions. So, kaya Coach Zach is saying, train your mind to do something else. Focus on the good stuff and try to do something out of the box para you'll be in a better advantaged position to move forward.
Mhm, mhm.
And the
Coach
other thing
na,
I'd say,
go ahead, Coach Zach.
Hans and Pauline, just another insight, which I say to people all the time: if you want other people to change, you must change first. You cannot ask others to do that which you are not prepared to do yourself. You possess the
Yes.
keys to your own car's ignition. So, whether you're dealing with someone who is fearful, frustrated, perhaps getting angry, getting cross, obviously not in a domestic situation where there's abuse, but if they're
Mhm.
just a bit cranky and a bit moody, you should be the thermostat. Don't be the thermometer. Be the one who sets the temperature, not the one who's reading the temperature. Be the light, be the inspiration. Once you do that, you will find that people around you, after a while, will start to change as well. Because A, they
Uh-huh.
will either panic that you are getting ahead, or they will know that what they are doing is not having any impact on you.
Oh, naku,
True.
sana narinig 'yon lalo na nung mga dads, yung mga tatay. Kasi 'di ba, 'pag sa bahay may conflict, parang ang pinakakailangan yung father ang laging nagde-decide na, let's deal siya yung nagde-decide how to deal with the conflict. So, I hope yung mga dads narinig niyo yon. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. You have to direct how things should go. Tapos yung mga moms naman, Pao, what,
Be the sunlight. Bring in the light into the homes,
mhm.
Even if may cracks all around you, focus on the light that's going through the crack. Okay, yun yung trabaho dapat ng mga nanay. Okay, and be happy with yourself. And siguro is also I have a question for Coach Zach kasi it's very sometimes we don't have the opportunity to ask men this, no? Ang importante kasi is communication, like what we said before, Coach Zach. But then sometimes, you know this, men shut down. And in this time, usually when they cannot provide for their families, okay, and they don't have much work, or they don't know if they have any work to go back to, they feel hopeless, desperate, or frustrated. So they shut down their own. So how do you deal with that in a relationship?
I think, yes, the male natural tendency for the male is to be the provider still, even though we are hopefully
Mm,
coming towards equality for everyone. But the natural tendency for the males is to provide for his partner um, and kids. And even in a same-sex situation, there will usually be a male-dominated personality. So the best way to do this, and every partner has this secret inside them, I think, that there was a time when your partner, the dominant male, would have done anything for you to impress you. They're desperate to seek your approval. They're desperate to seek that they are impressing you, that you're appreciating them. So every woman, I think, has it inside her. She knows the secret of how to bring her partner to life. She has unique skills that she can apply, whether it's to caress his
mm,
ego, whether it's to make him feel like a man again, whether it's to make him feel loved, whether it's to communicate with him through food, whether it's to communicate with him through intimacy. But there are ways you can relight his fire and make him feel like a man again and make him feel whole. So even though he may be feeling in a bad place, whatever's causing him to feel down is not the whole him. It is not him defined. He's still your partner. You still love him. He's still valuable to you. And he still means the world to you. And you have it within you through whichever channel or currency you know inside to make him feel alive again and bring him to life. And once he's done that, he will start to take the steps again to reconnect with whatever is bothering him. But I think every partner has within them the ability to bring their spouse to life. They used to do it in the early days when they were courting. They knew how to do it, play the game. It was a negotiation. You know, peacocks raise their feathers, and
yes.
we will have it within us to raise our feathers in whichever way we think is going to impress our partner and reignite that flame again.
Oh, so viewers, sana narinig niyo 'yon na parang ang sinasabi lang naman doon is when you notice your partner being down, nandun ka dapat, 'di ba? Suportahan, tama ba, Pao?
Sabi kasi ni Coach Zach, parang as a partner, may secret language kayong dalawa. You should be attuned to each other. So, yun sinasabi niya, you know what turns on or off. It is your job to know it. Okay?
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
so I think ito rin yung maganda during a pandemic now. Na,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your imagination, let it run wild. You know, you have all the time in the world. So, you know, use it to your advantage. Okay. Make it a ritual. For example, kakain kayo ng dinner. Why not do it with you together and then maybe bring it out, doon kayo sa labas, mainit, then bring a bottle of wine or a beer, kayong dalawa, under the stars, di ba? Magpalamig muna. And then, kung ang favorite food niya is, I don't know, undox or whatever, then magpa-deliver ka. You know, kung ano man yung gusto niya that you usually
Uh-huh.
do together, try to recreate it. And maybe, you know, slowly, ano siya, I mean, he will get out of that situation he's in. Because usually talaga, mga guys, I noticed
Mm-hmm.
yan, no? Lalo na tanggalin mo yung role niya as a provider, magkakaroon siya ng crisis. Okay, mawawalan siya ng
Mm-hmm.
purpose eh. So,
Yung tiwala sa
you need,
sarili, babagsak.
yeah, pabagsak. Lalo na ngayon, no, na ang hirap ng kalagayan nila. 5 ang anak mo, mag-re-enrollment na next month. Anong mangyayari? I mean, ang dami patong-patong at problema. So, here in this case, I suggest that um, you take the time to be kind. Ito na yung sinasabi ko, maximize his happiness. Saan ba siya masaya? Ano ba yung mga ginagawa ko nagpapasaya sa kanya? So focus on that. And then get
Uh-huh.
to know him again. Yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Sa.
Oo. Total, dalawa naman kayong magkasama 24 hours a day, di ba?
Yes, di ba? Get to know each other. Magligawan na naman kayo, for
Mhm.
example. You
I
know,
I wanna I wanna, like, go to the end part of this discussion with something really hopeful. Do you have tips for people in
yes.
relationships now? Um, uh, do you have tips for them to make their relationship a little more fun, despite the situation that we are all in right now? We start with Coach Zach.
Well, hopefully we are coming through this. Hopefully there is an end in sight. Hopefully it's not too far away.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that eventually things will loosen up. So I would say to everyone, when you look back on this in a year, how do you want this period of time? What do you want to say about it? How did you behave? Did you make the worst of it or did you make the best of it? So be the best. Obviously, not in the case of the domestic abuse situations, but for the vast majority of the people, make the best of this time. You won't get it back again. Be the best partner you can be. Be the best listener you can be. Make your partner feel amazing. Tell them they're amazing. Leave a post-it note in the bathroom window next to their toothbrush. I think you're amazing. You made me feel great. Be the nicest person you can be. It doesn't have to be big gestures. It can be small, tiny little gestures just to make them feel better. Lots of random acts of kindness can amount to so much more than one big, expensive gesture. So be present, listen. If they have concerns, ask them, is there anything more I can do for you tomorrow? Can I make your life better tomorrow? What can I do to make your life better? And then follow through on it. And don't necessarily expect anything in return straight away. Do it out of generosity, out of love. And eventually that person will naturally start to reciprocate. So, and if you sense tension, if you sense an argument building up, try and take the heat out of it. Deflect, change subjects, tell them you love them, and just say to them, I realize we're leading to an argument. Can we talk about this in an hour when we're cooler? Or walk away from the situation and say, you know what, this is going to lead to an argument. Can we please talk about it in an hour when we are both cooler? So those basic common sense things, I don't think it needs any rocket science is going to solve this. It's just being aware, being kind, being empathetic, realize that they are in the same situation that you are. And they may be having conversations in their head, which perhaps you're not hearing. So perhaps they're building up tension that you are not seeing or hearing. Just try and take the steam out of the situation. And then hopefully we will come through this and life hopefully can return to some kind of forward momentum.
Pao, how about you? Before the goodbye stuff.
Okay. But we do have to say good evening to some of our viewers.
Oh,
They're
sige lang, go
logging
ahead.
in. Okay, let me just read a few ones now. From Marites of Pangasinan. Oh, they're here. And Lenny from Oriental Mindoro. Hello, everybody. At saka, who's this? From Nita of San Carlos City. And also, oh, Antonio Isada is here. Hello. And Anne Cunningham from New York. Hello, Anne. Nice to hear from you. But, one tip ko lang is, I think we already discussed na. Wrap up ko lang a little bit of what they're saying. Ni Coach. Um, we're going through something we've never experienced before. No one has
Totoo.
any experience or best
Experience, oo.
practice. So, na
Mm.
ibibigay sa atin, oh, ito ang dapat yung gawin today. No, it doesn't happen that way because kakaiba yung nangyayari sa atin. And just as we said, this is prolonged. Okay, we cannot see the end in sight. So,
Mhm.
yung anxiety natin is also prolonged. So, ang mangyayari is everything will be magnified, the disconnection or the connection. So it's really up to us in this relationship, whoever you are in that relationship, boy or girl, na to really decide, to be the best partner that you can be. It's not really a question for me. It's not the question is if I'm with, I mean, is my partner the right partner for me? Yan yung sinasabi ni Coach Sa. It's not just that question, but am I the right partner? Am I being the right partner? Okay,
Mm.
di ba? It's not just a question, is he the right partner for me? But also, am I being the right partner for him? Am I maximizing his happiness? In the same way, that person also should see it from his side of view na, am I maximizing my partner's happiness too?
Mhm.
Because if that is your mindset, then this pandemic will be solvable for both of you. And just as I said before, communication is the key, and also let your imagination run wild, as Coach Sachs also stated. No, if one of you is overburdened or shutting down, then that's the time to reconnect, refocus, bring in the breath of fresh air into your relationship.
Oo. Tapos bring
Yan
back
yung
the con
fun.
oo,
Yan yung fun, isn't it?
bring back the confidence nung partner mo.
My friends
Iyon.
and some of my clients will say, nagte-text kami, okay? Even if we're in
Mhm.
the same house, we text each other. Yun yung
Oh,
mga ganon, small things. Tama yung
talaga?
sinasabi ni Coach. Yes, yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Sa. The small things matter. And if you do it consistently, the effect
Mhm.
is exponential. But let me just say this, okay? The ritual is very important now for two people, for a couple. As I said, it's either good morning, good evening, or whatever it is that you share something special between the two of you. But make sure it's just between the two of you, because if you do it very very effectively, it becomes romantic and magical. but but ang nangyayari kasi napapansin ko dun sa ibang couples, okay,
Mm.
especially the younger ones, may ritual siya, but he repeats it for everybody, you know
So hindi na special.
hindi na special,
Oo.
nawawala yung magic of that moment, no?
So
So
parang kailangan ba, importante ba na yung lambing mo for your partner, ibang-iba sa lambing mo halimbawa for your friends?
of course, because that becomes extraordinary, that becomes magical. Hindi ba?
Okay, sige, sige. So parang kailangan for your partner,
I ask
yung
you,
ano ka, super
Hans.
all out ka, parang ganon.
Yes, and also for you, I'll ask you, no, as a partner, di ba syempre, iniisip mo yung something that the two of you share. Just the two
Mhm.
of you. No one else will share with your partner, but just the two of you. Isn't that magical? Isn't that romantic in a way? Di
I
ba? Think
guess,
about it.
oo, oo. So, yun, Coach Zach, earlier in the program, actually, before the program started, I saw, um, I saw a slide informing us that you had something for us.
Yes,
Mm.
yes, yes. I am just about to finish a book on divorce, but also separation and annulment, which will be very, very relevant to your audience. It'll be coming out in early July, and for members of the mastermind community, I am going to be offering just for you guys a 50% discount just for the Mastermind Philippines community. So if anyone is interested in availing of that discount, they are more than welcome to send me an email. And as soon as it's published, I will send them on details of how they can avail of this amazing discount for 50%. So anyone who's interested in reading the book called The Empowering Divorce, but again, it applies to annulments and separations as well, please send me an email at the email address listed there, zakariajan@gmail.com. I will be in touch, and I look forward to getting your feedback as to what you think of it. I've got 10 years experience helping women, hundreds of women, going through difficult annulments, separations, divorces here in Ireland, which, as you know, is a very heavily Catholic country as well. So the idea is to give women the confidence, resources, tools, tips to undertake this difficult, life-changing journey and hopefully come out the other side like a butterfly, free, more confident, more resilient, and able to rebuild their lives according to their own wishes and desires.
So the book is coming out July of 2020. That's July, May, June, July. That's a couple of months from now. Well, less than a couple of months from now. So, mga viewers, that is something we can look forward to, especially if you are in a situation where you think you might need to start over. So a 50% discount for all members of the mastermind community. Malaking bagay yon. So makakatulong. I'm sure the book, if you are going through something, the book will be able to help you sort things out. And Coach Zach, we would like to extend to you our appreciation for talking with us and coaching us tonight. Thank you so much. Coming all the way
Thank you.
from
Thank you.
Ireland and having to wake up probably
Yeah.
earlier than you're supposed to. Thank you very much. Our gratitude, really. We cannot thank you
Co-
enough for tonight.
Coach Sak, thank you for doing this with us. You know that
It was
I appreciate all the effort, the generous support that you have given Mastermind Philippines. I know that you're one of the few who really raised their hands when I made the shout out at our community for free coaching for my countrymen, and I appreciate all the help that you're giving us. Thank you very much, Zach.
It was my pleasure and privilege. And stay safe.
And again, quoting Coach Zach before he says goodbye to us, be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that's my takeaway for the evening, because more is yet to come that we have not prepared for
Yeah.
because of this situation. So, people, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Pau, ang galing-galing mo naman. Napaka-wise ng mga input mo
I,
about being a
thank
woman
you,
in a
Hans.
relationship. Na ako ngayon, sobrang tahimik ako kasi nga wala akong relasyon. So ano isi-share ko? But, coming from a mom and,
But
being a woman,
but Hans, for sure, later on you'll have a relationship, and whatever we're discussing right now, for sure you're going to use it. For
uh-uh.
sure, okay. You'll be in a better place for that, diba? You're
Mhm.
more prepared, diba? Who knows? Tomorrow you'll meet your man of your dreams.
Ay, wala akong magagawa. Man of my dreams. Most of the men I've met, who I thought were stuff my dreams were made of, turned out to be a disappointment. So I'm
Nightmare ba?
I'm
That
okay
should be
right.
our topic. Hoy, that should be our topic next time.
Which
Hans,
one? Yes,
Hans,
Yes,
yes,
go ahead,
coach.
Coach Sap.
continue to do the things that you love, and someone who loves to do the things that you do will turn up in your life.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for that, and I'm sure it's gonna happen pretty well, not
100%.
soon, but it's gonna happen, and I'd be so thankful if that occurs. But again, thank you, a big thank you to our coaches tonight, everybody, Coach Zach and Coach
Thank
Pauline.
you. Thank you,
I'm giving you
everybody, for
I'm giving you
joining
an
us.
applause. because I think you deserve it, and it's what our viewers are doing as well right now. You both deserve applause. Very, very nice inputs, Pau. Being a woman, being a mom, what you told us tonight, ganda. And Coach Zach, thank you. I am one of those persons who will be a little more prepared because of the stuff that I heard from you tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. And I hope we were able to help you
Mm-hmm.
go through this pandemic with your loved ones.
Yes.
Do please, even if we finish this episode, do let us know po if we helped you in any way, or if try to update us on what's happening with your relationships. Just send us a note. Yes, go
And
ahead,
Yes,
Coach Zach.
Coach.
can your viewers share this if they found it valuable? Can they share this with other friends?
Oh yes, they
Yes.
could, because we will be first we will be putting this video out on YouTube, and then this will video will also be available on Mastermind's page, and on my personal page on Facebook. This will be up as well, and hopefully we get to spread this and share it with a lot of people, because again, I hope, like me, they took away something tonight, which is utterly, utterly important. Hindi pa po tapos ang pandemic. This is not gonna be over anytime soon, unfortunately. But as Coach Zach has said, be comfortable being uncomfortable and focus on the good stuff. So having
Yes.
said that, for
Okay. Thank
those
you
of you
po.
who for
Yes.
those of you who are in a relationship tonight, enjoy it, make it as fun as it could possibly be despite the
Yes.
circumstances. Be kind to each other, be understanding of each other. If you're
I have
physically
a question for you,
Mm,
Hans.
yes.
For those who are thinking of letting go, you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tip?
If you think you have to get out of something naman, you know, even if it's still the pandemic, if you feel like you need to get out of it, listen to your inner voice. If your inner voice is telling you that that is what you're supposed to be doing for your sanity, for your safety, I think no time is a better time than now.
Mm, correct. Ako naman siguro is before you throw in the towel, make sure you've done everything that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because iba nga yung we're going through some difficult times right now in this pandemic. So make sure that when you say no and this is over, that you have done, or both of you have done the work, and you have done the best that you can for each other.
And let's leave the last word for Coach Zach.
Yes.
Answering Miss Pauline's questions. What do you say to that?
I agree 100%. Make the decision. And remember, it's not about good people don't always get along. There's no shame in this. If you both gave it your best, if you threw the kitchen sink at it and it's not working, it just means you're on different tracks or different pathways. Good people don't always get along. So there's no shame in it. If you have to do it and make it a clean break and move on with your life. You deserve happiness, both of you.
All right. So with
Okay.
that,
Thank you.
we would like to thank all our viewers for being with us on another session of Mastermind PH. Next Monday, please join us again. We have another discussion brewing as we speak now. And again, how grateful we are for Coach Zach, and how grateful I am, of course, to Miss Pauline sharing the women's thoughts tonight. So thank you to
Thank
the two
you.
of you. Thank
Hans,
you.
may mga nag-ano sa atin from Oriental Mindoro. And you say good night to them, San Carlos,
Uh,
Pangasinan, and
and then
Batangas City. Hello,
last na
everybody
last na
there. I miss
lang.
you all.
Last na lang. Shad, can we put out Coach Zach's email address again, please? Because we have some viewers um, asking for it, so that maybe they can get a screenshot of it. There,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. There.
So, um, Please don't forget, Coach Zach is having a book coming out in July of 2020, and everyone who's following Mastermind PH gets a 50% discount for that. Just email Coach Zach at zachariahjohn@gmail.com. That'll be on July. Mark your calendars. The title of the book is The Empowering Divorce.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Coach
Thank
Zach, thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.